Well, here we are, the one and only Mr. Paul Oakenfold. Paul, how are you and where in the world are you today? We are very pleased and proud to have you back behind the decks at Passion on April the 27th, and it's been a long time coming. Can you remember the last time that you played at the Emporium?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun actually, and a few friends came up for the show with me and we really enjoyed ourselves, so I'm looking forward to returning. The crowd are really up for it.
Definitely, Paul, for sure. The crowd are always up for it. It's always a memorable night at Passion at the best of times. Passion has changed its event concept in the past 6 months, putting on bigger shows but less often. This has led to 3 consecutive sellouts at Passion, which is a massive achievement for the team. We've also noticed a change in clubbing. Have you noticed any changes in recent years from your side of the decks at all?
Yeah, I mean, there's big changes in electronic music, especially in America. It's certainly been embraced, mainstream. Las Vegas has become what Ibiza is to Europe, Vegas is to America. It's primarily the destination for a lot of clubbers, globally now also. And in terms of music, we're giving a lot more music away free, and it seems that with the internet, it's the way forward.
Oh, so you've seen a change as well then, Paul. It's not just within the UK, it's actually globally by the sounds of it. Obviously, promoters are having to look at different ways of putting on massive events and, taking them to the highest of levels, which they are doing. There's some fantastic events, going around at present, and we're fortunate to have Passion as one of them here in the UK. April the 27th will be part of a new concept from yourself. 4 seasons. Can you tell us all a little bit more about this?
Yeah, we're planning to release a compilation every season. So the idea is to come to the UK, hold residencies, one in the south of England, one in the north of England, and release albums showcasing more the cutting edge sound of electronic music and supporting new producers and DJs.
Well, Paul, it's great to hear that you're supporting the new talent and artists coming through, and also touring up and down the country here in the UK. I'm sure there's many of your fans out there looking forward to seeing obviously what you've got to showcase with your cutting edge style, and obviously all other various of music styles that you perform to date. Can you tell us here in the UK as well, when did the music flame ignite for you, and what moved you to perform and become the incredibly successful international DJ and producer you are today?
A friend of mine, Trevor Fung, got me into DJing, and through him I really enjoyed the process of playing music, and from there it just grew really. I started working in this recording studio and making music, and really enjoyed that, and decided that this was really a career for me, and I've kind of gone from there.
Well, by the sounds of it, Paul, obviously you have a passion for music and the love of what you do, and it just goes to show that the effort you put in is what you get out of it. And obviously with your success around the globe, that just goes to show that the amount of effort is worth putting in. Also, I wanted to ask you, can you tell me about your 2 studios that you have? Obviously you spend a lot of time in the studio, as that's where you enjoy and love making music, also collaborating with others. You've got one based in Los Angeles and another in Amsterdam. Why did you decide to set up 2 studios? What was the reasons behind that for the studios in obviously 2 different countries?
Well, I have 2 recording studios purely based on when I'm in Europe. I base myself in Amsterdam, I have a house there, and I have a house in Los Angeles, so it made sense for me.
I guess, Paul, being a successful artist that you are, ideally having 2 different studios in parts of the world is convenient for when obviously you're travelling up and down different countries and also to different parts of the globe. Obviously it's where you love to be making music, so definitely makes sense there. I would also like to ask, as you being highly respected in the music scene, do you have any studio tips for enthusiastic music producers out there pushing forward? What kind of tips can you give them?
Yeah, I think a couple of tips. First of all, try and come up with your own unique sound. And second of all, I try and encourage people to use live instruments. I've been getting a bunch of friends in and collaborating with them, and I find it quite inspiring. So I think collaboration in the studio is also very important.
I definitely agree you've got to have your own identity, you know, your own style of music. You're dead right there, Paul. Obviously, it sets yourself differently and apart from everybody else, which gives more of an attraction to other people, something different, as it is a competitive market. Also, working with other producers, it makes it more fun, and you can, like you say, you can bounce ideas backwards and forth. Just another question for you, also running my own label. Can you tell me, how do you manage to distribute your time when running a highly successful record label like Perfecto Records, your club nights, and travelling the world as a massively successful DJ and producer? How do you manage it all, Paul? How does it all work?
Well, I'm very lucky to have a good team of people around me. So it's certainly not down to me. I mean, a great team of people who are all really good at what they do and are all team players, and that's really how you manage your time.
I definitely have to agree with you there, Paul. You know, it is all about the team you have on board. It's obviously something that involves more than one person, and obviously it has to work. You know, you've got to work together in pushing forward, you know, what you're wanting to achieve as a whole brand. So yeah, that sounds like it does what it has to do, and obviously it's proven with your track record of Perfecto Records and your other label that's just pushing forward each year, releasing massive amounts of music. Also, Paul, your Paul Oakenfold performances, when can we see you hitting the decks this summer? Where are you going to be after you return to the legendary UK's #1 club event, Passion, on April the 27th?
I'll be playing at the regular events, from festivals through Europe to Ibiza and back here in America. So I'm really enjoying DJing now. I've got back into DJing. I've taken time away from scoring films and games and focusing on making music and playing all around the world. I'm really enjoying it.
So once again then, for 2012, it sounds like another very busy period for you, and it's great to have you back within the limelight of the music scene and behind the decks, where you perform and do what you love to do. Can you tell me a bit more about any new releases on your Perfecto imprint that you've got coming out in the next coming months at all, Paul?
We have a bunch of tracks coming out by myself and various different artists on Perfecto and Perfecto Fluoro, so a lot of good music. Go to the websites and check it out.
Well, for your label, Paul, it sounds ever so promising for 2012, which is not to be expected. There's always massive releases coming out within your label, so I'm sure people will be jumping now onto the internet and checking out what's happening. You've also recently released your 4 Seasons Winter Edition compilation, which we all love in the office. Can you tell us what goes into selecting the tracks for this album? Is it a personal preference or an area of music that you were trying to push or pioneer?
I think first and foremost we're representing the cutting edge sound of electronic music. We are also supporting new producers and DJs. I work very closely with John and James on this. John has a big part to play in this. I mean, it's a lot of hard work sourcing and finding this music that goes into these compilations. And I'm happy that you guys like the record. Well,
Paul, it all sounds fantastic. You've got a great team behind you, and obviously with the selections that you're putting together, for your 4 Seasons Winter Edition compilation, it really is going forward fantastically for you for 2012. And if you can imagine us all in the office jumping around like lunatics when some tracks are coming on that everyone enjoys, I'll say no more about it. What sounds are you working? At the minute, for what's working for you on the dance floors during your sets?